Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Namaste. Salutations to everybody. We humans are a very funny species. We keep fighting with each other because we live divided. Until we find a common enemy, we don't come together. When we have a common enemy, we come together. Now we have a common challenge. The whole of humanity is coming together. A virus which cannot be seen has brought the humanity to its knees. And this is the time all of humans are realizing that we can fight this calamity only together. Everybody is trying to contribute their best to overcome. Every nation is working together. So, unfortunately, a common enemy or a common challenge can only bring humans together. If we are together, imagine our power from the beginning. If we are together, the Advaita Vedanta of Hinduism, which Shankara promoted more and showed how practically it can be applicable, points out this togetherness. It is this Hindu culture, Hinduism, which announced much before any other philosophy came into existence that the whole world is one family. We stand as one family, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the universal family. Not just the earth. If there are life anywhere else in any other planet or in the galaxies, we consider them also as one. Because from God, what comes has to be God. So the universe has come from God, and so this universe is nothing but manifestation of God. If we understand this, then not only humans, we will live in harmony with all living beings. I would like to bring a beautiful incident which happened between Shankara and Hastamalaka. Hastamalaka, a 14-year-old boy, in his village, everybody thought this boy is slightly dumb, a kind of a duffer who never spoke to anybody and used to spend time alone laughing with himself. So everybody thought he was dumb because he was not talking, and he used to laugh by himself. So they thought he was a duffer, a moron, not connected with the mainstream world. Shankara was passing that side. When Shankara was went to that village, they told that there is a boy here who needs your blessing. So Shankara called him and said, "Who's this boy? Bring him." So when he came and stood in front of Shankara, Shankara saw and understood this guy is a very advanced seeker. And he was just fooling around the people by not talking to anyone. So Shankara looked at him and asked, "What's your name? From where have you come?" "Kim namate kuta agatosi." And this little boy answers, "Naham manushye na chadeva yakshaha, na brahmana kshatriya vaishya shudra, na brahmachari, na grihi, na vanastaha, bhikshur na chaham nicha bodha rupaha." Meaning, Shankara looks at him and says, "Who are you? From where have you come?" And the boy says, "Who am I? Naham manushya. I'm not a human being." Then, "Nacha deva yakshaha. Nor am I an angel, a devata, or a yaksha, semi-divine. Naham manushya, nacha deva yakshaha." Then, "Na brahmana, kshatriya, vaishya, shudra. I'm neither the four castes. Don't put me into that category of a Brahmin, kshatriya, vaishya, shudra. I don't belong to them." Then, "Na brahmana, kshatriya, vaishya, shudra." Then who are you? Are you a brahmachari? He says, "No." "Grihastha, householder?" "No." "Vanastaha, vanaprastha, one who retires and goes to the forest life, getting trained to retire." "Vanaprastha." He said, "No." "Bhikshu, not even a sannyasi." "Then who are you?" This little boy says, "Nicha bodha rupaha. I am the pure consciousness. Shankara smiled at the answer. Everybody was stunned that for all these years this boy never opened his mouth, and first time Shankara is talking, and the boy answered so brilliantly. So people looked at Astamalaka and said, why didn't you open your mouth all these days? He said, you never asked any relevant questions. What were you asking? Generally imagine what we ask our children. Where is moon? Where is sun? Where is bird? Where is an important question we ever ask? So when Shankara asked, who are you? The boy understood what he was asking, and he answered the teenager. Immediately the teenager said, I have lived here enough. I would like to walk with you. And he became his disciple. Shankara initiated him, and he was one of the foremost disciples of Shankara. They walked. Now this small conversation is very important for human beings. We are children of divine. Nija Bodha Rupaha. We are consciousness. So let's break this division in which we are living. If this virus has shaken us, has brought us together, it should lead us further. The human being should realize geographical differences, man-made differences, we should know to remove, and we should start feeling deep within that we are one family, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, a universal family. This alone can make us live together. This spirit of togetherness alone can make us survive together. Now is a question of survival. So if we have to survive this chaos, we have to come together, survive together, prosper together. There is a beautiful verse in the 3rd chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna tells Arjuna, Saha yajna praja srishtva purovacha prajapati anena prasavishyadvam eshavos tvishta kamaduk. This verse is so beautiful. It is in the Karma Yoga. 3rd chapter is called Karma Yoga. In the path of action, Krishna addresses Arjuna. When this creation was made, Krishna tells Arjuna, when this creation was made, the creator, Prajapati, said, I have made this beautiful creation with the spirit of yajna, saha yajna, prajasrashtva. This creation is made with the spirit of yajna. What is yajna? Yajna is a beautiful sacred action which brought people together. Any action which brings us together, makes us drop our differences for common good, that action is called a yajna. So this creation was made with the spirit. In the past, when people were, let us say, in a village, people were divided, they were not together, etc. At that time, a saint who passes that side looks that the people are all divided and they are not together, so he tells them, let's perform a yajna. So the village comes together to perform a yajna. The people who can offer, let's say, prasad, the whole village has to be fed. You need rice, you need grains, you need various pulses. So the merchants come and give all this. And you need vegetables, fruits, etc. So the vegetable vendors, fruit market people, they come and supply some. Like this, each and everyone supplies. Someone supplies oil, someone supplies ghee. Every member of the village comes forward and contributes something little. And once that is contributed, that every member has contributed, and if some people do not have anything to contribute, they give their time. They say, I will come and clean up the place. I will come and help the pandal to be set up, the shamiana, etc. That way, every member, irrespective of their social positions, economic positions, etc., all come together and perform that yajna. Now, this yajna is something beautiful which brought everybody together. Please remember, in togetherness lies our strength. So the yajna that way performed brings everybody together, and the prasad is equally shared. Imagine how healthy And beautiful support system it would be when the community is together, each one supporting one another. So yajna brings people together. It's a beautiful support system which helps one to be together. Imagine how easy the life was when we were in joint family. What a beautiful support system. There was a family to take care of the elders, and there was a large number of people to take care of the children. Today the burden is on one person to take care of the elders, the grandparents, the parents, his family, his children. It is very, very difficult. We get stressed out. So in the past, when we were living in joint family, we shared everything. We shared our joys, we shared our difficult times together, so it became easy. Togetherness is the strength in any community. So the saint who passed through the village brought them together. This is how the yajnas happened. So yajna means we coming together, because in togetherness is our strength. Now go back to the verse. Saha yajna, along with this yajna meaning the spirit of togetherness, along with the spirit of togetherness, this creation was made. Saha yajna praja srishtva puro vacha prajapati. The Creator said, I have created this creation along with the spirit of togetherness. Now he says, Anena prasavishadvam esha vostvishta kamadaku. Whatever you desire, let that desire be fulfilled together, in the spirit of together. May you all prosper with the spirit of togetherness. Anena prasavishadvam. May you prosper being together. This togetherness is important. If we want to achieve something, when we come together, we can achieve. Some time back, we were very determined in destroying the planet by damaging the ozone, by damaging the environment, greenhouse effect. Imagine the mess we created together. Now, that togetherness was on the negative side. Slowly we became aware, like saying, hey, we need this planet for the next generation. Our own children, the next generation, needs this planet. So once we became aware, we became environmental conscious. Slowly it spread. So many people today are coming together. You see, coming together for a common cause. Coming together to destroy anything that destroys the planet. To remove. So whether it is plastic or greenhouse effect, we are working together. See, when we come together, we prosper. So Krishna said, let the spirit of togetherness be your wish-fulfilling Kamadhenu. Kamadhenu is a beautiful description of anything we want, we can get from this beautiful cow. It is written in a mystical language, where all it means is whatever you desire, this cow can give. Kamadhenu, we see her as a mother cow. Your wish-fulfilling cow is nothing but together what we aspire, that will be achieved. After all, what I think becomes my action. My thoughts become my action. Your thoughts become your action. Please remember, every action of ours was once a thought. Every action of ours was once a thought. So, that doesn't mean every thought will become an action, but every action was once a thought. Those thoughts which we sustain becomes action. Imagine collectively we sustain nobility, then our actions will be noble. My thoughts determines my action, your thoughts determines your action, collective thoughts determine collective actions. Let us understand this. The world is nothing but the individual reflection. What I think within is the reflection of the world. Collectively, what we think is what the world is. If we can collectively inspire people to think better, nobler, we will find. This is where Advaita Vedanta brings us together. Makes us understand that all of us are one. We have come from the same source. Let us look for everybody's prosperity. If this change happens within, such a difference it can make. So very simple things we can do. How do I bring this change within me so that I can see the whole world as my family, as a universal family? We all go and pray. And our prayer is of different types. Artha, Artharthi, Jignasu, Jnani. There are 4 types of people who seek the Lord. Some seek the Lord when they are in distress. Run to the temple, pray. Some seek the Lord only for prosperity. Some seek the Lord just curious to know about Him. Not seeking, but just to keep well informed about Him. And some seek the Lord only the Lord. Nothing from the Lord, but they want the Lord. These are the 4 types. Artha, Artharthi, Jignasu, and Jnani. So our prayer generally reveals with a common man is only Artha, Artha, Artharthi. So whenever we go and pray to the Lord, let's make this a simple prayer. You pray for yourself. No problem. Very good. Pray for yourself. Pray for your family. Absolutely fine. These 2 are good. Along with these 2, add few more prayers. For every self-centered prayer, pray 2 selfless prayers. For every self-centered prayer, pray 2 selfless prayers. This is all is required. You go pray for yourself, you pray for your children, you pray for your family, you pray for your prosperity. Okay, you have prayed 4 desires you are seeking from the Lord. Add 8 more desires which are selfless. Saying, let the environment progress can be one. Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha. Let all beings be happy. And somebody not known, he could be the barber down the road. He could be the vegetable vendor or the lady who comes and cleans your house. Pray for it. Add for every selfish prayer, add 2 selfless prayers. And you're praying to the Lord. Do it with absolute sincerity. How you have prayed for a selfish prayer, 2 selfless prayers, pray sincerely. I tell you, inside the change will happen. We will be praying for the universe. This was very natural in our culture. In Hinduism, the prayer itself was that. Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, sarve santu niramaya. We always prayed for everybody. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. This was our prayer. Let's bring back this prayer. But let's do it a little more clear. For every selfish prayer, we will pray 2 selfless prayers. Slowly, if this can start spreading, we will start looking at the whole universe as our family. Vasudeva Kutumbakam. This spirit of togetherness is required to survive any calamity. If we are together, we will survive, because in togetherness is the strength. Saha yajna. Along with the spirit of togetherness, let us prosper. So this is a beautiful verse which tells us how we have to be together, and in the spirit of togetherness, how we can progress. This way, working together, being together, we can progress, we will survive any calamity. That's something on the positive side of this COVID-19, if we see, is the destructions we were doing for a while. When we stopped because of the lockdown, how quickly we found earth healed. I never thought in my life I would see river Ganga clean. I never thought in my life I would see Yamuna clean. I never thought within a month the damage what we have done to the earth got so healed quickly. Earth became so beautiful within a month. Look at the power of the creation, the power of manifesting beauty. If we don't damage, 1 month time, the earth healed. This is so beautiful. This is Prakriti, the power of Prakriti. This is nature. So this is a great lesson we have learned, that if we have to live well, earth is also very important for us. That's why in Hindu culture we worship earth. Let us look at earth as divine. And let us guard the earth well. So in a month we learn. That's a very positive lesson. Second positive thing is this COVID shattered human beings, made people introspect. And today we are coming together. The whole world is coming together. Each one is depending on another, supplying medicine, supplying masks. Every other country is doing, so that let us somehow survive together. It is not that you can protect one country alone. Then you will live in isolation. You want to interact with the world has to be healthy. You can't say, I will keep my country healthy. then you cannot connect with the rest of the world. Rest of the world has to be healthy. Now, COVID has made us realize every part of Earth, every country is important for my own good. If I have to enjoy the earth, I have to do well, then I have to take care of everybody. So that is something which has brought us together. So we need to keep this in mind, that how this, in this calamity, we can see the togetherness coming in. These two are important. And another point which we have to learn how to respond to these challenges, all the while we have lived selfishly. Now is the time we live selflessly. Now is the time we go out and make little sacrifices. Because so far when I've lived for myself, I have compromised. How much we compromised on the planet for my selfishness. Now is the time we sacrifice. Between sacrifice and compromise, we have to understand, when I give up the lower for the higher, it is called sacrifice. When we drop the higher for the lower, it is called compromise. We should choose sacrifice because that is divine, that is yajna, sahayajna. Let us choose sacrifice because we have lived a life of compromise. So much for me. Now see, when it comes to your need and your family, there are people who love the family, are willing to give up their need for the family because the family is higher. My need is smaller. Dropping the lower for the higher is sacrifice. And there are people who have dropped their family for the nation. Dropping the lower for the higher, for a higher cause. So whenever we drop the lower for the higher, it is called sacrifice. Whenever we give up higher values for our own selfishness, it is called compromise. What we need to learn now is we have benefited by so many people's sacrifice. This is the time we start sacrificing. So what is sacrifice? What our Prime Minister called the other day as Atma Nirbhar, self-restraint. Let us have self-restraint. We enjoyed, we celebrated this world. Now is the time we should have self-restraint. Let us see if we can avoid going to a place we should avoid. However deep the desire may be to go out to a mall or to a theater, etc., let us control for a while. Because not going out in public is going to help. Simply saying, I want to go, then we can't be selfish and fight this disease. So self-restraint is very, very important. So even with the elders at home, even with children, let us maintain a kind of social distancing, cleaning ourselves for the benefit of others. It could be a little tiresome. It could be a little cumbersome to clean yourself every time and to stay in a place. But for the coming few months, this self-disciplined approach for life is mandatory. This should come from within, saying, yes, I enjoyed, let my pleasure wait for some more time. The world will become better and then I will enjoy. Instead of that, coming out on the road, screaming, mass gathering, in the name of religion, in the name of entertainment, etc., are going to create only further. Till the world, not one nation, till the world gets into herd immunity, our options are very less. The younger people in this virus attack may survive, but the elders may not survive. That cannot be the gratitude one shows towards the elders, that I don't care. They are the ones who made the world for you what it is today. So if the younger ones apply self-restraint and maintain, the elders can be safe. Otherwise, the younger ones would get the virus. I mean, in this kind of a situation, we would have the virus definitely affect us, but we will not die. The elders will die because they don't have the system. You take the death statistics of virus, young people died is very less in percentage. It is only the elderly who have passed away. So we need to keep this in mind. And for the elders, it is more important. Self-restraint is more important. You have lived your life. And since you have lived well, now stay in a place for a while. Have that control. Don't have to do the same thing what you did. Don't crowd any places, including the places of worship. God is everywhere. We can worship at home. This would be more appreciated. So stay in one place. It could be difficult, but for some time we should stay. Imagine how many people sacrificed their comforts of their houses and lived in cellular jail in Andamans. Cellular, in one cell they were put because they were asking for a freedom. So when we turn back and we see how many people have sacrificed so much for us. So we should know to sacrifice our joys for a time being. It's not forever. Please remember, nothing stays forever. Everything keeps changing. Anityam asukam lokam. This world and everything in this world is continuously changing. The sorrows will also change. Joys will also change. It keeps moving, continuously impermanent world in which we live. So when these things keep changing, this difficult situation will change, but we need not make it worse. We can stay together with that self-restraint, practice it for a while till the situation improves. This way, if we practice, this is the way personally we can respond, remembering compromise and sacrifice. And in prayer, start praying for the universe. I'm sure the concerned people, the scientists and the efficient leaders will find a better solution to get this. And there will be difficulties here and there, but I think we must cope up with it. So to wind up what I said, this calamity has brought us together. Unity is our strength. Togetherness is our strength. Let us realize the whole universe is one family. Together we will survive. Together we will prosper. Let's shed our selfish intent for larger interest, and between compromise and sacrifice, let us choose sacrifice. We have got a few questions. Thank you for sending these questions. The first question, Swamiji, could the vision of oneness as expounded in our Upanishad be the way of the whole world for harmony and happiness? There is no other option. If we want the world to be peaceful, happy, we have to recognize the oneness. When there is one, there is no conflict. When there is two, where there is a division, a conflict arises. It is important we see ourselves as one. This entire universe has come from the divine. So the universe in which we live is not separate from the divine. Divine alone has manifested as this universe. So in a way, it is better to say, God did not create this universe. God manifested as this universe. That's the best approach. So when we understand God alone has manifested as this universe, that means this universe is nothing but divine. Every living creature is nothing but divine. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. Everything that is existing is nothing but the divine. Very simple. From a piece of gold, if you take and make a bangle, the bangle is nothing but gold. If you take from the gold, you take a chain and you make a necklace, it is nothing but gold. The forms are different, but the content is gold. Similarly, we may appear in different colors, different shades, in different sizes, in different forms, but all of us are nothing but that expression of truth. Whether we like it or not, this is an irrefutable truth. The moment we realize this, there would very naturally be harmony. So the best way is we need to bring this awareness to the people about this oneness, that it is a fact. I think the science is getting there closer nowadays. What the Upanishads were talking for few thousand years, the science is coming to that particular point now. The quantum physics is getting closer, arriving. Very soon, scientifically, I'm sure, the scientists would also declare that this entire universe is one. The moment we establish in that oneness, Advaitam, then there would be definitely harmony. So it is important we do. And we, the Indians, have a bigger responsibility in it, because for whatever good reason, this knowledge of oneness, the Brahma Vidya, was given to us. We are the ones who have preserved it in this continent, in this world. So since we have preserved it well, it is our responsibility to promote it. It is our responsibility to share it with others. So people have to become aware. So we Indians have to understand we are the custodians of this supreme knowledge, Brahma Vidya, and it has to be shared. And once the universe gets this idea that we are all one family, children of that divinity, once we understand that, I'm sure there would be a lot of harmony. Harmony comes in understanding oneness, not through division. The more divided we are, more conflicts will be there. The more divisions erase, harmony would increase. And totally it would be like, just to look at us, every being, be it an ant, be it enlightened, both are expression of the same divine. It's like you play a game of chess. There's king, there's queen, there's minister, there is horse, rook, soldiers. End of the game, all of them go back to the same box. They come from there, play for a while, and they go back to the same box. Same way. From the divine we manifested, we play here for a while, we go back to manifest. When we are playing here also, we are nothing but the divine. This oneness, this vision of Advaita, which Adi Shankara spoke so beautifully, brought it out to all of us to understand easily, taught us methods to implement it, that we should follow. The more this knowledge of Advaita Vedanta reaches across the world, sooner the harmony would take place. We'll go to the next question. The second question: did the COVID-19 challenges change the thought process of the world from materialism to spiritualism? Did this COVID attack virus change the human beings from materialism to spirituality? Not at all. The day the lockdown was opened, you saw the queue in wine shops. What changed? They moved towards a different kind of a spirit again, not the spirituality which you are asking about. And we have to understand this question more clearly. There is nothing wrong in materialism. Please understand. Because materialism is matter. And we are born here to play with this matter. Let's play with this matter, not forgetting the spirit. That is all we should know. Ignoring matter, seeking only spirit will not happen. Because the vasana in us is for the matter. The desire with which we have come is for the materialism. So we should know to play with materialism. It's a phase. The Hindu way of life has given the most beautiful, perfect vision about life. The vision is this. First few years, 15, 20 years, you're a student called brahmacharya or brahmacharini. Brahmacharini. A person studies. First stage of life. Second stage of life, after studies, and the studies there also had both aparavidya and paravidya, which had material knowledge, spiritual knowledge, a combination. Infinity and not infinity, a combined. So we, as a student, everybody went through to the Gurukula and learned both this knowledge, para and apara, first stage of life. Second stage of life, let's say for 20 years. So one is a grahastha, slog, go earn money, raise family, celebrate life, celebrate all pleasures which are possible at that stage of life. Chew it as best as you can. Because you are here in this world to chew. Chew that, because that is the phase to celebrate. The right age. Celebrate all pleasures what the life offers. Go out and live fully. Live in such a way that that desire doesn't arise again in you. That is Grihastha. For 20 years, you chew. Live as you want. And once you are done with these 20 years of absolute drowned in materialism, you now prepare. Say, matter is not the final destination. The next phase of life is called Vanaprastha. Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha. Vanaprastha ashram is a beautiful way of life where one prepares to move out of materialism. So it's a stage where you are very much in the world, more like a consultant, more like an advisor, and committing to absolute selfless work, seva. The seva bhava should dominate Vanaprastha. Not involved in slog. Today this ashrama in India is lost. If this way of life is there, just imagine how beautiful life would be across the world. Not just for Indians, because the Hindu way of life is for the humanity, not just for people living in Bharat. So if after chewing the material world, after squeezing every bit of essence, the juice in it, when you drop, you don't turn back and look at it because you had your fill. Done. Now you come to Vanaprastha. And once you come to Vanaprastha ashram, having lived well, now you are ready to drop everything, be detached, serve. This is where we have to learn that materialism is over. Now I am preparing to go. Please remember, when you learn to drop, it never hurts. When it is snatched away from you, it hurts. My Guru, Swami Chinmayananji, always told us, you drop the world before the world drops you. You move away from it before the world kicks you out. Vanaprastha ashram is a beautiful preparation to move out. Once we have lived Vanaprastha ashram for 10-15 years, a person should now move towards sannyas. Withdraw. Now no more concern. Let the world go to anything. It is not our responsibility. We have done our duties at every stage, and now only goal is to seek union with the divine. Seeking the union with the divine, we commit ourselves in full pursuit, least bother, because there are others who will take care of the world. There are others who will take care of all the responsibilities which has to happen. This is the phase. If we can bring back this ashrama, life would set back in balance again. Not living these four ashramas is the imbalance. Today, please understand, somebody who is 60 is still slogging. Somebody who is 75 is still slogging in the material world, not willing to let go, not practicing detachment. This doesn't work. So first 15-20 years brahmacharya. Next from 20, let us say, to 40-45 grihastha ashrama. 45 to 55-60 vanaprastha. 60 and above take sannyas. Go somewhere. Now commit only seeking God. Our life would be fulfilled. We would have lived a life of dharma, artha, kama, moksha. That way life becomes complete. This is the most beautiful Hindu way of life. So, just because COVID came, would it shift us towards spirituality? I don't think so, because people are scared, not understanding life. They're just scared that this virus can take away life. But that is not life. We have to understand, virus cannot kill us. The Atman can never die. Maximum what can happen is to the body. So this insight has to come. Hopefully, we will have more universities coming up in India where we bring this knowledge of four ashramas, this knowledge of dharma, artha, kama, moksha. We bring in Brahma Vidya into our curriculum. Then the next generation coming up will be able to understand the most balanced way of life. Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. This is the way of life. Now we'll go to the next question. And this question is, should we march aggressively and collectively for bringing a new civilization based on the wisdom of Vedanta? Yes. We have tried serving passively. That doesn't work. It is time we bring aggressiveness into our service. When your child is sick and the child refuses to take medicine, do you deal with the child passively or do you deal with the child with sternness? The child may refuse the medicine, but you know the medicine is important. There you do not give an option to your child. You say, you must take this medicine, because that is dharma. Similarly, when we are the custodians of this knowledge, and this is such a beautiful knowledge which only expands humanity, which only makes us live in harmony. That's why you should understand Hindu civilization taught the world to coexist. Look at the differences, plurality, and we have coexisted with the differences, we have coexisted with the plurality for 5,000, 10,000 years old. If you go back to Saraswati civilization, imagine some 15,000 years old civilization we are, in which we have coexisted. Within the family, there will be somebody worshipping form, somebody worshipping formless, somebody worshipping Devi, somebody worshipping Shiva, somebody worshipping Lakshmi. In the same family, we have coexisted together. My neighbor could be a Vaishnavite, my other side person could be a Shaivite, and I could be following Nirguna. We coexisted in the same society, in the same street. We appreciated plurality. The strength of Hinduism is appreciation of plurality. That's why all methods, from primitive to sublime methods, are kept together. We have coexisted. And all our worship, you see it is in the same form. For example, you take Shiva Parivar. Shiva has a snake. And Lord Muruga has a peacock. Snake and peacock don't get together, but when they are connected to the higher, there is harmony. Parvati has a lion and Shiva has a Nandi, a bull. Now please think, the lion and the bull coexist. When the lower is connected to the higher, there will be coexistence. We Hindus have understood this. Therefore, with differences, we have coexisted. And it is such a beautiful philosophy. Today, we have to reach this out if it is to be done aggressively. Aggressively in the sense of more dynamically. Please understand, aggressive is not going and slaughtering somebody. That aggression we are not talking about. We are talking aggression of dynamism. We have to be more dynamic to go out and convey this message and inspire people. Because the world may pick it up and then there can be peace, more harmony in this world. It comes with a lot of self-effort. Passive way, sluggish will not work. This is the time we must be more dynamic. In fact, my Guru, Swami Chinmayananji, has given this as the motto for the youth. He has told, harnessing youth potential through dynamic spirituality is the way in which we have to bring the youth together. Harness their potential through dynamic spirituality. That way, we must harness our resources with dynamism and take the spiritual knowledge as much as possible. It is high time that we put our foot down and bring this into our curriculum, because this teaches us to appreciate pluralism. This teaches us to be accommodative. So this knowledge has to come. And if India sets this right, world will pick it up, because once upon a time, we were the giants. We were the leaders. We were the Vishwaguru. Everybody was looking up to us long, long back. It's old history, but we should remember the history. That was our place. We have come down. We should know to bounce back there.